So, welcome to my ride home from work on my 700 watt Amazon electric bike. And we're going to go ahead and show you what a typical ride home it is for me on a daily charged battery and a few little surprises on the way. So let's check it out. Now, at this point, I'm just getting onto my bike. It's about 2:30, 2:40 around there. I had to stay a little late to take care of some business, but here we go. So cut through the grass here and jump over to our next building, go through that parking lot. As I'm going through this parking lot, I'm going at a moderate speed, about 20 miles an hour, always keeping sure that I can see what's going on. And then I come into our weigh station where the trucks weigh themselves before they leave, the big semis. Over here to the left is where they put everything, or the loading dock. You got tons of trucks all over the place. So I'm going to make a right here and then a left and get onto the main street. And there's no traffic. I'll just go ahead and cross right over. And again, this is a very busy street, so I have to be sure that I don't get killed. So this is 59th Street I'm coming up to. It's a very quiet street, so I make a right here and I just continue up the street. As you can tell, not much traffic. People are pretty, very nice when they are going to pass you. They completely move over to the next lane if they can. This is about, I would say, about a mile to my first turn. And when I made that turn, I go past a lake with There's not really a lake, it's a pond, retention pond, and some geese, and you'll see that in a second. Right here, there's a teddy bear on the right-hand side that somebody put there. It's been there for quite a while, for about a year now. Strange things you'll see. To my right, there's a retention pond, and there's a whole bunch of geese. Canadian geese are everywhere. So now that I'm crossing the road, I'm going to do a little cut through an apartment building. So I won't have to make a left at this light. And this is pretty quick. I'm just going to go ahead and cut through here and go through the parking area and get myself down to a little safer way I can cross. Now that I cut through the parking lot, coming up to the main street, which I'm going to make a left here, and I got to be careful because people are going to be turning left or turning right into this parking lot. Very busy apartment building. So now I'm coming up to, there's a lighthouse, but that's actually a storage unit. And then a couple other restaurants here. I got a McDonald's on the right. I have a Wendy's to the left and a couple of different fast food places. There's a light here, which I am going to press the button and cross over. I try to use the crosswalks as much as possible, but since it was green and there was nobody there, I'm going to make my way. I'm going to cut through this supermarket parking lot. On the right, as you saw, it was a McDonald's. There's a Penn Station here and a really neat little ice cream place to my right here. They're actually really good ice cream. So onward we go. Now coming to a point that this very, very light traffic here. They're doing some construction to the right, and of course there's the back of the stores to your left. And as we go, I'm going to make a left here, and there's a parking structure or parking lot, and there's an apartments or houses to the right and apartments to the left, and I think a medical building. So no traffic, which is really nice. Every once in a while somebody drives up and needs to slow down for them and keep on going. So as I keep on pedaling, But now here, a couple things about this bike. It was very inexpensive. It was $400, almost $500 for the bike. It's a 700 watt through Amazon. It took a day, 2 days to get it to the house. I think 2 days, maybe 1 day. Put it together. I actually have my first video is putting it together. I'm doing it for my health reasons and also a couple other mental stresses that I've been having. Okay, anyways, back on the main street. This is 56th Street, and 56th Street is basically the main street that I have to take from my house to work and from work to my house. This is probably a 6 foot wide sidewalk. No traffic on it at all. If there is, people pretty much get out of the way, or I just have to go in the grass really quick and make my way through. As you can see, it's about 2:45 around there, and the streets are very, very not busy, very calm, and people aren't going too fast. The police are here every once in a while, duck, and when they are, people slow down even more. So now this stretch is about a mile to my next street, and the next street is coming up to the next street, and while we're going, it's going to be pretty quick and easy, so let's just keep on going. I might just speed it up here a little bit. Now that we're at our next light, this is Leffenwell, or no, not Leffenwell. Man, I don't even know my streets. Lafayette Road. At this point, this is kind of a crazy street because there's a lot of traffic going all the different directions. One of the main highways is up ahead of us. We're going to be going underneath the 465. Here, I can't see what's on my left-hand side, so I have to slow down because it might be a pedestrian walking toward me. But at this point, I can keep on going, and I start pedaling to get my speed up to 25. So back to the bike. The bike is electric, of course, 700 watts. And I did the 700 watts because I'm a 260-pound guy. And if I did a 300 watt, it would not take me the distance, and the battery would be dead. So my first trip I actually made on this bike, I had to go to the doctor, and the doctor is right by our house. So as I was traveling, I forgot to charge the stupid battery. Well, it's not really stupid, it's me who forgot to charge the battery. And I got to the doctor in the nick of time, but I had to basically pedal my way home, which was miserable. So I learned a little bit about the bike and how to make sure that I have enough power to get home. So my first few times I've been riding the bike home, I learned that by pedaling it, you're giving it your power with the power from the actual battery, 700 watts, which if you just use the watt or the battery itself by using the throttle, you're only going to go about 18 miles per hour on a flat surface. But if you're going to pedal, you're giving it a little bit more power. You're going anywhere up to 20 to 25 miles an hour, depending on flat surface and a hill. Like right here, I'm going up a overpass or a bridge that goes over 465, and right here, oh no, it says 465. We went under the 65. So this one is not too steep, but I am pedaling as we go, and you know what? I'm going about 18 miles an hour up the hill and not tired at all. So now I've been driving or riding my bike for about 2 weeks now, and I need to start using less power on the bike and using myself a little bit more. So I'm going to slow the bike down when it comes to using the throttle and start pedaling a little bit harder. This is a little bit of a downhill, which I could let go of the brake or the throttle and just pedal, which I do, but I'm not using so much energy from the bike. I'm using my energy. Now coming up to Eagle Creek, and this is a really beautiful area that we're going to be going through from this point on. and to the right is just green, green, green. If you go to certain times in the morning and certain times at night, there's deer all throughout here eating and just, hanging out and just, doing what deer do. But on the left-hand side, you're going to see in a second, is where the Colts training center is and all their offices too. And at that point, I am about 15 minutes into my ride. And at that, we will go to the entrance of Eagle Creek and then past Eagle Creek itself. So, going past this rider right now, and see enough room on the bike path for 2 people. So I'm going to go ahead and speed it up again, and we're going to go past this area until we get to Eagle Creek. Here we go. Now, we're coming out of the speed part of it, and we're coming down an incline, a hill actually, that goes into Eagle Creek. Eagle Creek's a beautiful, beautiful lake. I used to go fishing here, and somebody got an accident, and they actually hit these K-rails, so I had to go around that, and apparently somebody lost a gas can. So that doesn't look like that, and so you have to be very careful about these kind of things, because accidents, of course, do happen, and that's one of the reasons why I'm riding a bike. So this is Eagle Creek, and on the right hand side is basically where the kayakers and the rowing team are, and on the left hand side is where the sailboats are and the dam. So as we're going through this, you can just see it's very nice. It's very, very large. I wish I got better angles of it. What I'll do is one day I'll just stop and just talk about where I'm at. But until then, to have a little view of what I'm going through. So let's go ahead and fast forward through this a little bit. Now comes the fun part. This is the hill, and if I were to use my throttle all the way up this hill, I would not have any juice left in the battery. So I have to pedal. But now, since I've been doing this, I'm not out of breath. I'm very comfortable doing it. So I have to force myself to use a lower speed on the throttle and use more of me to get up this hill. But as you can tell, it's a very good incline, and a lot of bikers use this for a good exercise. A lot of walkers, you'll see during the morning time and late afternoon, people are walking this very, very thoroughly, and it's a really nice trip going up it. So we have a couple stops or a couple little breaks in here, and the first one is coming up, and on the left-hand side, there's a cemetery, and on the right-hand side, it actually goes through Eagle Creek and up to the golf course. There's a big golf course, Eagle Creek Golf Club, and that will come up to in a little bit. So here's the first break. No cars. Here we go. And I'm going to go ahead and speed it up again so we get to the second break. And now we're coming up to our second break, which is actually the parking lot for the Eagle Creek Golf Course. So a leaf came in my head, so hopefully that leaf gets out of the way. And it should, I think it just blows right out. So let's make sure it gets out of the way here. So at this point, we're coming up to 56th Street. And once we do, it's a pretty busy street and you have to be very careful because there's no crosswalk. And I don't know why there's no crosswalk, but there's no crosswalk there at all. And we're coming up to it here and you'll see how there's a little bit of traffic, not too bad. The incline kind of stops here, so I'm going a little bit faster as you can tell. And at this point, I have to stop because these guys on the left-hand side, they will not stop. They will make a right turn. So get that out of my way. So the light turns green, and then we will continue. The turn signal for the people on the left. They get to go first. And here we go. At this point, it's a straight shot. So I'll just go ahead and speed through this here. Now we're coming up to Ronald Reagan. This is pretty new. They just built this about maybe 8 months ago, and it goes about maybe 3 miles to the right, and it goes on the left-hand side, it goes all the way to the airport. Busy street, getting busier as people are moving more to Brownsburg. They built a Myers over there, and down the street is, Brownsburg itself, but we have to get over there. So we're going to cross over and we're going to make our way to the Myers, and we're going to go through the Myers parking lot. There's the Myers gas station. I think Terry got gas today for $3.50, I think, $3.45. In Brownsburg right now, gas is about $3.15. So we're going to cut through here and go through the Myers parking lot. We don't have to, but I thought just showing where Myers is. You can cross the street right there and keep on going. This is the new Myers, just opened up Mother's Day weekend. Beautiful store. I mean, it's new, but it's a beautiful store. It's really nice. They have a sushi area, they have a deli, a bakery, they have pretty much everything you can ask for. Nice and green. Spring, actually, summer just came. So I'm gonna make a left here, cross over, and go. And again, I don't have to do this. I can go straight, but I thought it'd be nice to go through the Myers parking lot. Oh, by the way, I got some rib rub because Terry was gonna make ribs, or I was gonna make ribs. I needed some rib rub before, so let's go ahead really quick and get some. Okay, back on the road. So we're gonna go past all this area here, and they have a little garden section. They have a Great Clips over here also, so I can get my haircut and go shopping at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but at the same place. going over the last bridge. This is going over the 74. And the 74 will take you into Indy, out of Indy, into I believe it's St. Louis. No, Cincinnati. Cincinnati, and then it'll take you to Kentucky. Or no, Tennessee, I think. Anyway, and on the other side, it'll take you to Illinois, Champaign, Danville, Illinois, and all the way through to the Rockies, I believe. I know the 70 takes you to the Rockies, or to St. Louis, and then into Oklahoma, that direction. So, yeah, so we are the crossroads. Okay, now I'm going down the hill. So, we're coming up to our next light, and once we get there, we're going to cross the street, and we're going to make our way into residential and almost home. Crossing over, I don't want to get a hit. And we're coming up to our favorite Mexican restaurant here in town, Brownsburg. It's called Iguanas. And we usually get a group that has lunch there or dinner there on Thursdays, and it's really good. It's not bad for for an Indiana Mexican restaurant. I've been there a couple times, and our local newscaster, he has dinner there every once in a while. And you'll see some drivers, race car drivers there too. And we're coming up to basically just a residential area, which will take me home. Have to make a left-hand turn, then a right-hand turn, and pretty much we're home. Now we're coming up to 136. Now, this is our main street, which is 136, and it's also called Crawfordsville Road, and it's also called 16th Street. And what it is basically, in this one road will go all the way to Illinois, and it goes all the way to the IMS racetrack for the Indy 500. But before you get there, you go past Lucas Stadium for the Lucas Oil Racing, the NHRA racing. So it's a great street, a lot of traffic on it, good restaurants. This is in town. A tornado actually ripped through here last year. I have a video on that. I walked that whole path. The lot that you just saw to the left of us was a house that got destroyed, and they had to break it down completely to get rid of it. But very nice little streets we have here. We get through the area, the territory, and we'll make a right, and then we'll make a left, and we'll be home. here's my street. Well, I hope you enjoyed my little trip home. Thought you'd be interested to see what I do on a daily basis, except for Tuesdays. Terry picks me up from work. She doesn't work on Tuesdays. But thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed the bike ride with me home.